Okay, so we quickly look at module 13, and like I said, can revert back to the lab. So here in module 13, we're going to discuss attackers and their tools. We gradually getting into parts of the labs that requires doing a lot of penetration testing and all that. So here we'll be looking at attackers. Who are these attackers and what kind of tools do they use to attack? So quickly we look at the objective for this particular module. We should be able to explain how network threats have evolved over time, and then describe the various types of attack tools used by the threat actors. So who is attacking our network? Looking at it critically, attackers want to access our assets, such as data. So our assets, our data, and other intellectual property, servers, computers, smartphones, tablets, and so on. So these are all the attackers try to, go after. And then if you look at the diagram, you can see the threat, you can see the asset, and in between you can see the risk, the vulnerability and all that. So if you bring the ring together, you realize that at the midpoint is where the risk is. So the question now is that who are these attackers? To understand network security, it's important to know the following terms. Very, very important. Threat. What is threat? Threat actually has to do with the potential danger to an asset, such as data or the network itself. So when there's a potential danger, when we say potential, we said there's some kind of lapses, there's some loopholes, there are likely chances because that provision has been made, and with that is a threat automatically on its own. And vulnerability is a weakness in a system, or it's designed that could be exploited by a threat. So the threat is the potential danger to an asset, while the vulnerability is a weakness in a system. And then the attack surface is the total sum of the vulnerabilities in a given system that are accessible to an attacker. And so given the fact that we're looking at network security here, and we're now asking who are the attackers, and this attack surface now means that you're looking at the different areas in which the attacker will be able to attack. It's like having your own house. I mean, let's look at your house as a typical attack surface. If your door probably is not strong enough, that is one of the vulnerability space you have created. And then if you have your windows not good enough, sure. And I mean, when you look at all these different entry points to the house and they are not fortified, they are not strong enough, you agree with me that those are the likely chances or loopholes that the attacker is going to use. So in the real world scenario, if a criminal is coming to your house, the criminal will have to study your house and say, oh, he has a weak windows, he has a weak door, the gate is not strong enough. There are no IP cameras, there are no surveillance cameras to say and all that. And then if he's able to look at all this, we are saying the total space or the we're saying that the sum of all these vulnerabilities put together from the attack surface. So it varies from place to place. So the exploit now is the mechanism that is used to leverage a vulnerability to compromise an asset. Exploit and maybe remote or local. So a remote exploit is one that works over the network without any prior access to the target system. So that's the exploit. So in a local exploit, the threat actor has some type of user or administrative access to the end system. So the mechanism that is used is actually the exploit. And of course, it's going to leverage on the vulnerability space that is created. So the next is risk. The likelihood that a particular threat will exploit a particular vulnerability of an asset and result in undesirable or consequences is referred to as risk. So once you have the likelihood that this particular threat will exploit a particular vulnerability. So now here you can see there's a threat, and the threat now is the potential danger, like we said. And what is the potential danger? Such as our data. And then you have an exploit here, and the exploit is a mechanism that will be used, over a particular vulnerability space, or what we refer to as weakness. And the result is what we refer to as a risk. So the risk factor is now subject to the exploit on the vulnerability. I hope we get that clearly. So at every point in time, we need to understand what is threat. We need to know what vulnerabilities are. We need to know what attack surface is. We need to know what an exploit is, and risk. These are very strong terms you need to know as a cybersecurity analyst. The threat, vulnerability, and risk still, we're looking at risk management. In this case, is a process that balances the operational cost of providing protective measures with the gains achieved by protecting the assets. So there are four ways to actually manage risk. One is risk acceptance. How best can you manage risk? There's certain risks that you can really handle completely or eliminate 100%. But then you find a way around it. So one, we say risk acceptance. The risk acceptance is when the cost of the risk management options actually outweighs the cost of risk. The risk is accepted and no action is taken. In this case, you have looked at the cost of the risk and you weighed it with that of the cost of the risk itself. So that means I'm looking at the cost of the risk management when we're going to look at all these options, ways to tackle this risk. And we realize that the cost implication is so high, and we just have a way to just accept the risk. There are likely chances, there are situations that this even happen in our secular world. We end up accepting such risk. Another is the risk avoidance. This means avoiding any exposure to risk by eliminating the activity, thus resulting in losing and benefits from the activity. So we have the risk reduction. In this case, reduces the exposure of risk. It is the most commonly used risk mitigation strategy. You try to reduce it as minimal as possible. And what you even do in a situation, probably if you're a place where it is prone to theft or whatever, you try as much as possible to provide high level security around yourself. And that's the much you can do. So you're actually reducing that risk, but that does not mean you totally eradicate risk completely. So this strategy requires careful evaluation of the cost of loss, the mitigation strategy, and the benefit gain from the operation or activity that is at risk itself. So risk transfer, some of all of the risk is transferred to a willing third party such as insurance company and all that. And this is where you have organization A outsourcing the security of their network. Looking for some kind of insurance where if they are strong high risk, the insurance will be able to take care of that. And so these are four ways to actually manage risk. So we have common network terms when it comes to threat, vulnerability, and risk. And one of it is countermeasures. These are action taken to protect asset. Remember, this asset we're talking about your data and your intellectual property by mitigating the threat or reducing risk. So the impact here is the potential damage to the organization that is caused by the threat. You also note that exploit requires inside network access, such as user with an account on the network, It does not require an account on the network to exploit that network vulnerability. So usually, you should also notice that there should be some kind of local exploit which has to come within. So here, you can see the countermeasures, the actions to protect, and then the impact, which is the potential damage. So we'll just quickly look at hackers versus threat actors.
Hello, doctor. Are you still there? We can't hear you.
Actually, doctor is not there. He seems has an issue with connection.
Hello guys. Why is doctor? Is not connected though.
Hello.
Hello doctor.
Yeah, doctor, welcome back.
Yeah, sorry, I lost this. I think apologies. I had some issues. I think I'm able to work on that. So if you can hear me clearly, I think we just continue about it. Okay. So I really want to be sure where I lost us. Let me be sure the same page. So I guess it's at this point, right? Am I correct? Hello, can you hear me, please? Hello.
Yes, doctor, we can hear you. Please go
Oh,
ahead.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Just before
Okay.
here, I think. Okay, no,
Yes,
after
doctor,
here.
we're hearing you.
Okay, before the slide.
Yeah,
think,
maybe go back to 14. Let's see, doctor. The slide before.
Yeah, I think. Okay. So we could just recap this section. And so here I could recall we talked about the common network security terms, which has to do with the countermeasures. This has to do with the actions that are taken to mitigate threat or to reduce risk. And the impact is the potential damage to the organization that is caused by the threat. So if an attacker launches an attack and is able to cause any damage, what is the level of the damage? Usually is the impact. And so we went further to look at hackers versus threat actors. And we did say here that the hackers actually are a term that is used to describe threat actors. And if you look at it critically, it means that a clever programmer capable of developing new programs and making coding changes to existing programs to make them more efficient. So that's the case of hacker. And then a network professional that uses sophisticated programming skills to ensure that networks are not vulnerable to attack. But here we want to look at the types of hackers. Who are those hackers? We have the white hat hackers, we have the gray hat hackers, and then we have the black hat hackers. And if you look at it, the white hackers are the guys who actually in a way are legit because they check out for vulnerabilities without any damage. They seems to just let you know that you have these issues. And the gray hackers are the guys who, for somewhat two reasons, take advantage of these vulnerabilities. Sometimes they just do that for the fun of it. They're in between the white hackers and the black hackers. The black hackers are actually the bad guys here. And so you could have white hackers that can eventually become a black hat hackers. In some countries, they have a situation whereby if there are new products, probably new IT products, they tend to carry out some kind of trials on this product. And in such situation, they invite hackers, to just do a test to see if it will pass that vulnerability test and there are no issues, more or less strengthen the security of this product. And thereafter, they can now be able to deploy this product or probably commercialize the product. So in such cases, those folks can be referred to as white hackers because their job then is just to check out for vulnerability. But within the given time period, once it expires, then automatically any action taken means that this is actually the black hackers. So you can see there's a distinction between among the three kind of hackers we have. And so the white hackers, like I said, actually ethical hackers who use their programming skills for good, ethical, and legal purposes. Like you are here now, you acquire these skills, you use maybe Kali Linux, you could do penetration testing, you can use Wireshark, you can check on different networks. Recall, even the Wireshark itself poses some level of threat. But we're saying that whatever knowledge you've acquired here, you're not actually using it to destroy or to create some kind of potential damage. In this case, we can refer to you as white hackers. And the gray hat hackers are actually individuals who commit crimes and unethical things, but not for personal gain. And sometimes they can send unsolicited messages, they can flood packets, like DDoS attack or something, but not with the intention of damaging any, maybe causing high level damage or damaging the case. So, but in the case of the black hat hackers, they're actually unethical criminals who violate computer and network security for actually personal gain. So the term threat actor is used when referring to individuals or group that could be classified as gray, black, or hat hackers. So you can see the difference between the hackers and the threat actors. So it is actually individuals or group that are referred to either the three of them. So evolution of the threat actors. Hacking started in the 60s with phone phreaking, which refers to using various audio frequencies to manipulate phone systems. Remember then, it was more or less of cycle switching, and you have a lot of channels, e-channels for communications and all that. So it was quite easier for for one to be able to, tap into some of these frequencies, to listen to conversations, or probably get some info.
Oh, doctor, now for you.
Hello, I think Dr. Daniel have a problem, or just with me.
It's the case for all.
Thank you.
Hello? Hello?
Yes,
Okay,
doctor.
I lost us again. Yeah, sorry
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, okay. So let's go on, please. Sorry for the hitches. Okay, I can see Akubob, you're raising your hands.
Acknowledge that we are here.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much. Okay. So evolution of threat actors, like I said, way back in the 1960s, and then in the early 1960s, threat actors also realized that by making a tone using a whistle, they could exploit the phone switches. That is the vulnerability. So they were able to identify that attack surface. So in the mid 1980s, threat actors wrote war dialing programs, which dialed each telephone number in the given area in search of computers, bulletin board systems, in fact. So we can all agree that this has been way back. So from 1960s to now, you can see how many years put together. So the attack has been on. And now we can see with the advent of the fourth industrial revolution, we expect more attacks. That tells you that there will be continue to be attack on the cloud as long as you have that convergence. So when a phone number was found, password cracking programs were used to gain access. And so evolution of threat actors, types of threat actors, script kiddies, these are actually folks who try their hands on existing script tools, exploit them. You know, if you go online, there are several tools, some harmful tools that are actually used for hacking. I mean, most of them are actually free, available, and the ability of any threat actor to use these tools for attack is tagged as script kiddies. Vulnerability brokers, actually this refers to gray hat hackers who attempt to discover exploit and report them to vendors for prizes or for awards. So they try to draw the attention of vendors just to let them know, oh, there's some vulnerability here and there. So sometimes they get some reward for that. And then the activist actually refers to the gray hat hackers who rally and protest against different political and social ideas. And then we have the cyber criminals. It refers to the black hat hackers who are either self-employed or working for large cybercrime organizations. And then we have the state sponsors. This has to do with threat actors who steal government secrets, gather intelligence. This you can see between nations, actually trying to outsmart one, you know, from the other and all that. So here you agree with me that the state sponsored is more or less a very devastating one where countries try to penetrate to steal some sensitive data of some other countries to use it against them and all that. So here, the cyber criminals, they are the reason why we're here. That's the reason why we're doing what we're doing. And then we continue to work hard to grow that and tighten up the space. So cyber criminals are threat actors who are motivated to make money using any necessary means. At times, they work independently. They are financed and sometimes sponsored by criminal organizations. Oftentimes, you see when there are two organizations that are actually, maybe they have some kind of conflict or competitions or whatever, you have one of the organizations going to hire some cyber criminals just to pull down the other companies, maybe server or some sensitive information on the cloud. This is happening already. People have been, in fact, actually, there was some time, I mean, I was able to come across an advert online where somebody is providing such services. I mean, telling the public, if you're able to hire me, I can bring down your any competitors down or whatever. So that tells you the level in which crime is going, cyber crime is going. So they operate in underground economy and buy and sell personal information and intellectual property that they steal from victims. They target small businesses and consumers as well as large enterprises and industries. So cyber attacks. Cybersecurity attacks. Threat actors target the home, users, small to medium-sized businesses as well as large public and private organizations. They have a checklist you can see here to your right. Also note that this guide share responsibility which all users must practice to make the internet and network safer and more secure. The tag says the organization must take action and protect their assets, users, and customers. They must develop and practice cybersecurity attacks, such as those mentioned in the figure. So these are the tasks that cybersecurity expert must provide. And the checklist is trustworthy IT vendor. 2, security software up to date. You should be able to have some patches to be able to cover up vulnerabilities and all. Regular penetration test. When you carry out penetration testing, you agree with me that you're actually trying to check if there are vulnerabilities. And then once you're able to identify those vulnerabilities, you'll find a way to close them up. And then backup to cloud and hard disks. You need to back up to cloud hard disks to avoid total disaster. Sometimes the hackers could wipe off sensitive data from your servers, and that automatically keeps you stranded. Periodically change Wi-Fi password, and then security policy up to date, enforce use of strong passwords and two-factor authentication. All these are measures that ought to be taken by default as a cybersecurity analyst, and you must have this as a checklist each time to ensure you're doing the proper thing. Cyber threat indicators. So we have indicators of compromise, the evidence that an attack has occurred, and each attack has unique identifiable attributes. So you could see those attributes have to be traced and then be able to, for you to be able to know where exactly this has happened and why it has happened. So the indicators of compromise can be features that identify malware, malware files, IP addresses of servers that are used in attack, file names and characteristic changes made to end system software, among others. So the indicators of compromise also, in this case, help cybersecurity personnel to identify which has happened in an attack and develop defenses against this attack. So these are actually indicators of compromise. So it cut across the malware files, your IP address, your servers, and then personal identity and all that. So if you look at your right, you can see ways to actually check. You can see also even a DNS request. All these requests you do, you're trying to see to be able to gather up evidence in eventuality of an event or an attack, and be able to trace where all those issues are coming from. Cyber threat indicators of an attack. So this indicator of attack focus more on motivation and strategies behind an attack, and the attackers to gain access to assets. Remember, when we say assets, we're talking about your data and your intellectual properties. So the indicator of attack helps to generate a proactive security approach that can be reused in multiple contexts and multiple attacks, defending against a strategy that can therefore prevent future attacks. So attackers and their tools, strengthen sharing and building cybersecurity awareness. So government are now actively promoting cybersecurity. This is happening in every nation. A lot is being made to see how the awareness will spread. The US Cybersecurity Infrastructure and Security Agency is actually leading an effort to promote, to automate the sharing of cybersecurity information with public and private organizations at no cost. Just to let you know the level of awareness they would like to really create in this area. And then also, the Cybersecurity Infrastructure and Security Agency also uses a system called automated indicator sharing, AIS, which enables the sharing of attack indicators between the US government and the private sector as soon as threats are verified. All this is just to make the public aware of what is happening. The European Union Agency for Cybersecurity also delivers devices and solutions for cybersecurity challenges of the EU member states. And still on Cybersecurity Infrastructure and Security Agency and the National Cybersecurity Alliance have an annual campaign in every October called National Cybersecurity Awareness Month to raise awareness about the cybersecurity, because people need to know what is happening and then know how to mitigate against this attack. So here we're looking at threat sharing and building cybersecurity awareness. So the team for the NCASM for 2019 was Own IT Secure. That's you own IT, you secure it, and then protect it. And these security topics provided through campaign. One is social media safety. Two, updating privacy settings. Awareness of device app security. Keeping software up to date. Safe online shopping. Wi-Fi safety. And then protecting customer data. So this is a slogan that you have to own the IT, secure it, and protect it. And by doing this, you have to, this is also done through some campaign, and you can see the much awareness that have been made through this organization. That's the National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, which holds every October. Threat actor tools. What are their tools? To exploit vulnerability, a threat actor must have a technique or a tool. Over the years, attack tools have become more sophisticated and highly automated. These new tools require less technical knowledge to implement. Now, I need to ask this going forward. What can we say about the AI? AI coming in. The AI going to help to combat security or help to worsen security? Do you have any contribution to make in that area? Do we see AI as a very good opportunity to circumvent or to mitigate against cyber attack, or do we see AI become a very sophisticated tool in the hands of attackers to launch some kind of attack? I mean, there's a number of research in this area. I've also done that too, and I've seen that there's so much that AI will do, both for and against. So do you have anybody here who could make some valid contribution in that direction? Akoba, I can see you raise your hand. Yeah, you can go ahead, please.
Doctor, like every other discovery technology that has been made available to humanity, there is the good and there is the bad. For example, most of what we call today next generation firewalls or next generation intrusion prevention systems, they are actually artificial intelligence, machine learning actually are the backbone driving them. So, but at the same time, we have artificial intelligence, for example, like ChatGPT, which can also give us knowledge to use it in a wrong way. So, but 80% or 90%, it's artificial intelligence is helping in the combat of this threat or threats and threat actors. So, but there is also the downside of it, that people with mischievous mindsets, they'll also exploit it in negative ways. But the greater proportion is that it's helping.
Yeah, that's a good one. So I can see that you are talking more for the advantages. Is anyone also who can make a very strong argument of the likely kind of attack that AI can be used to carry out? Of course, there are so many of them I've seen that are already out there. Is anyone who have any contribution to making it? Thank you so much, Akubo, for that. Is there anyone? So there's none? Or we don't think AI has a lot to do when it comes to attack? You know, if the threat actors decide to use AI for attack, I mean, there's so many things that could happen. And that tells you that we need to, James, you have something to say?
Yes, Doc. So I'm in transit, so there'll be a bit of background noise. So on the negative aspect, I've seen quite a whole lot of people worry notes to program, small scripts that are able to decrypt some, password protection and using AI. So you find that somebody knows the knowledge and they do not know the programming part of it, but they're able to just so I feel that is quite a big negative aspect of it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. With the AI, a lot of very intelligent guesses can be made in terms of passwords and all that, and that can be automated, even on the network. And that tells you that so much is coming up, but then we have to build a very strong wall of defense. And I'm saying this because that's a new area. Most folks who are into research can begin to look at that because so many things are going to happen in that direction. But we continue to strengthen the wall. It's part of the way the evolution takes place. So once things begins to evolve, once you have a new technology in place, there's also the disadvantage. So, but as we go on, we begin to see how the warfare using AI against the cyberspace. So evolution of security tools. Ethical hacking involves using many different types of tools to test the network and end devices to validate the security of network and its system. And many network penetration testing tools, such as Kali Linux, have been developed, and many of these tools can also be used by threat actors for exploitation. So the same way you use these tools to test, to teach a student, so also the threat actors use the same tools to check for vulnerabilities and then launch an attack. So threat actors have also created various hacking tools. Cybersecurity personnel must also know how to use these tools when performing network penetration tests. So most of these tools are actually Unix or Linux based. Therefore, a security professional should have a strong Unix and Linux background. So this tells us the advantage of actually learning Linux. So advise that as cybersecurity specialists, you should enhance your knowledge in this area. And so the following table actually lists some of the categories of common network penetration testing tools, which includes password cracks, wireless hacking tools, networking scanning and hacking tools used to probe network devices, servers, hosts, or open TCP or UDP ports, e.g. the Nmap, SuperScan, packet crafting tools. This is used to probe and test the firewall's robustness, e.g. HPIN and Scrappy. And then we have the packet sniffers. This is actually used to capture and analyze packet within traditional Ethernet LANs of wireless LAN, e.g. Wireshark and TCP dump. And then we have the rootkit detectors. This is actually it's a directory and file integrity checker used by white hat actually to detect install rootkits, e.g. AIDE and net filter. And then we have the fuzzers. to search for vulnerabilities. So these are our categories of tools, of common network penetration and testing tools, among others. So we also have forensic tools, we have debuggers, we have hacking operating systems, we have encryption tools, we have vulnerability exploitation tools, and then we have vulnerability scanners. All these are categories of tools that are available. The threat actors actually uses previously mentioned tools, or they use combination of all these tools for various attacks, not just one, but so many of them. And it's important to understand that threat actors use a variety of security tools to carry out these attacks. So the following table display common types of attacks. Some of the attacks is eavesdropping. This is when a threat actor captures and listens to network traffic. This is called as sniffing or snooping. And then other attacks can include data modification attack. In this case, data modification attacks occur when a threat actor has captured enterprise traffic and has altered the data in the packet without the knowledge of the sender. So in this case, he's able to act as man in the middle. And then you have the IP addressing spoofing. This is an IP address spoofing attack. Is when the threat actors construct an IP packet that appears to originate from a valid address inside the corporate internet network, just to have some access to sensitive data. And so we also have password-based attacks. We have denial of service, which is a DOS. We have man in the middle attack. We also have compromised key attack. And then we have sniffers attack. All these are attackers and the kind of tools they use. So you can imagine the list. This is not all the different categories. We have several of them, and on it goes. So this model has actually helped us to actually see the different category of attacks, tools that hackers use, and all that. Okay, so at this point, if there are any questions, we can respond to those questions. Sorry for the hitches. I think we had some network issues over here. So are there questions? Hello? Do you have questions? Okay, so I can see a number of us were complaining about the 9.2. So if we are able to look at the 9.2, we could brief, but I can see here why most of you are not getting that. The condition was stated here in when you go to 9.2.6, you need to get one condition here. Are we there? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yes, why?
Okay, fine. And so this is the condition here. After the Firefox Windows opens, start a TCP dump section in the terminal. And then you are asked to, with the V option, you can watch the progress. This capture will stop after capturing 50 packets if it is configured. And then you're now asked to, after the TCP dump, start quickly. Yeah, that's after you've initiated this. After the TCP dump, start quickly, navigate to 172.16.0.4.0. So mean that you have to start quickly to navigate. And then you can do this over and over to be able to capture that. So we're able to do that. So we could start with this and let's see how that's played. So those that were able to do it quickly, were you able to capture it? Hello? Since most of us have not gotten here yet. If you have not gotten to 9.2.6, can you raise your hand up, please? Hello? So quickly we go seeing the way behind. I hope you know when we can come towards the end of the course, you're expected to make all the submission and make sure everything it's fine from your end. Of course, I know most of us are actually workers. We have to try to catch up and all that. So what I'm trying to do now is to do the sudo for the CyberOps workstations, and then look at the topography, that's a topology given to us, and then look for the xterm for H1, H4. And if you turn to that, you have your cyber security, and then your scripts, and then CyberOps.
Excuse me, Doctor. Can you, when you explain
Yes,
explain the lab, slow down with your speech?
okay, the speech. Okay, fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I am sorry. Many times I told you about that, but
So I'm
it's
actually
okay.
at 9.2. Okay. So if you go with 9.2.6, let's look at the scenario together. If you have it, please, can you just open that? In the scenario, we're asked that one, we want to prepare the host to capture the traffic. Remember, I said topology is actually software defined, and so you use the sudo lab support files, and that's the command instead you use to capture and examine packet between the PC browser using the hypertext protocol, that's the HTTP, and the web server such as www.google.com. So when an application such as HTTP or file transfer protocol FTP first starts on the host, the TCP uses the three-way handshake. I hope we know the function of the TCP. TCP section between the two hosts. So for example, when a PC uses a web browser to surf the internet, a three-way handshake is initiated. Do we agree with that? So when you use the browser, do you actually establish a section of the TCP?
That is the first thing that happens.
Yeah, that is it. So a PC can have multiple simultaneous active TCP sections with various web sites, meaning that you can try that on and on and on, right? To have those sections. Now, the instructor note is using a package sniffer such as Wireshark. Please note that using the Wireshark may considered a breach of the security policy of your organization. So if you're using Wireshark, you should know that it could be a breach of the security. So quickly, if you haven't done that, you can just walk through with me and let's see how we go with the lab. So primarily, what we want to actually establish here is to be able to analyze the packet using Wireshark and then view the packet using the TCP dump. This is the requirement, this objective. So please, before you work on any lab, try to look at the objective of that lab so that once you're done, so with what I have here, I think I'm good to go. Am I correct? And then your CyberOps. So this is the topology. So xterm H1. So we're asked to do xterm H1. That's to bring up the terminal for H1. Let me see. Xterm. I hope my network is working. Absolute path found. Okay, CyberOps underscore topo py. I don't think I have issue with this. Oops, I think I'm having some issue here. So let me restart the CyberOps session. Sure. Minutes. So sometimes you have to be sure that you don't have problem. You have to restart the server workstations, or else you keep having some errors. And then some other cases, before you go further, please check to be sure that your browser is browsing very well. I mean the browser of your server works, so that if you have some network issues, you might not be able to accomplish these tasks, because most of this information is being pulled from the cloud. So meaning that you must be sure that you have a functional internet system. Mine has been up and down, so just bear with me for today. So CyberOps. Okay. Sorry, let me share my screen. See. Okay. So going back to my terminal. Sudo, and then I go to my lab files.
Excuse me, Victor.
Yeah.
Do you sharing
Can you see
your
my screen?
Do you sharing your screen?
Can you see it?
I don't see anything.
Wow. Can anybody see my screen, please?
I can
Yes,
see your
I
screen.
see it.
Okay,
Yes.
maybe my internet. Thank you, Doctor.
No, I cannot see
I should go back.
doctor.
Okay, you cannot see it. Wow.
I cannot see it, sir.
Oh. Can you see that now?
No, sir.
Wow. What's happening? I guess my network.
I can see, Doctor, I can see your screen. I'm seeing your
So
screen.
what's happening?
So
I hope my screen is not becoming invisible.
No, it should be some issue of bandwidth on the different ends.
Yeah. Yeah, I know my network has been behaving very funny today. So.
I can
As
see
we
your screen
speak,
now, sir.
but as we speak, I can see your screen.
You can see my screen.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
How come some folks can see my screen? So what is the issue here? So what do we do? See the live files. I cannot be found. So I can't even find. Let me see. Some people are not seeing my screen still.
Yes, I see it.
Hello, doctor.
I'm seeing your
Your
screen.
I hope I'm not missing out anything. You can see my screen.
Ah, I see.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I am now can see you. Thank you, Doctor.
I still cannot see it, sir.
some good. You can see it?
I still cannot see it.
Oh, that's serious.
I
So what do we do?
I see your screen.
So I have a kind of screen that I think
And the tip.
I think it has to do with my own network, right?
It's not from you, sir. Probably from his own end.
Really? But not only one person. I can see a number of persons saying I can't see this.
Yeah, a good number sees your screen. A good number doesn't see.
It's not seeing my screen.
Some see and some do not see.
So if you cannot see my screen, please can you just raise your hand up? Let me see. If you cannot see the screen right now, no, I just want to take a sense of this.
I can see it now. Maybe it's taking time.
Okay, maybe it's taking time. So can you see what I'm doing, please?
Yes, I can now.
Okay, that's fine. And so what I've done actually is to bring up with the topology, and then on the minute, which, like I said, is software defined. And that's the topology we're going to work on. And basically, like I said, we're trying to establish a packet using Wireshark and TCP dump. So you, as a way of calling up the minute, you have to use the sudo lab.support.files/script/cyberops_topo.py, which I've just done, and then the xtemp h1 and then xtemp h2. And so quickly, here we're told that start the web server on h4. And then if we just start the server on h4, we're to do lab support. So I strongly believe that everybody's seen my screen now. So script reg_. I hope I'm in order, please. Cases. Remember, you have to be very careful so you don't mix any key there. .sh. Then you press enter. And then here for security purposes, you're not able to run Firefox from this route. So if you're not able to run Firefox from this route, we're asked to start the web browser on H1. So they said we should initiate this browser from H1. But before then, let me just check to be sure that from the server workstation, I'm able to browse. Sure, I can browse. Okay, fine. I think I can browse it. So you have to check that. So we're asked to do from start the web browser on H1. And for you to do that, you do the SU analyst, right? And then press enter. And this will take a few moment. And what do you do now? You bring call to the browser Firefox. Okay. And then be sure that this is actually still working still. Sure. And so while we're checking that, start the web browser H1, which you've started. After the Firefox window open, start a TCP dump section in the terminal H1 and send the output a file capture.pcap with the -v option, so you can watch the progress. They say the capture will stop after capturing 50 packets, as it is configured with the option -c. So if that is the condition, we go to H1, right? H1, and then we type sudo TCP dump. Okay. I have H1 Ethernet 0 V C 50 and -w, right? Just a bit dump H Ethernet 0 V and servers. Okay. And so oops, I didn't finish that. So -w /home /analyst / then this is what we want to capture the pickup. Okay. no such device. Let's see. Please check it out to be sure that you're in order. Let's see. And the speaker. Okay. This is a bit down. I think mine is no browser. So let me check my network again. Please make sure before you do this lab, you're sure you don't have issue with the network, because if you do, you may not be able to accomplish this. Okay. We're having a very wonderful network today, so let's be sure. Okay. Okay. And then there's a browser here. So we need to check the browser to check that we don't have an issue with the browser. Okay. Let me see. Wow. Okay. Let me see if we can have a Firefox. Okay. Oops. So how many of you are able to browse with your Firefox? Your Firefox can browse. Okay. Okay. I think I'm having a network issue here. So so please, before you do this, you must make sure this section is open. Let me check something. Let me just check something. Let me see. Okay. Check something here. Okay. So after, because for real, you have to be sure that your browser works. If it doesn't, then you might not be able to get it. So in my own case, see that it's down. I think it's 0 to be sure that I'm fine. Like I said, minus W. Show me. Still not there. Okay. So how many of you encountered this issue of no device found? Let me see. Nobody.
Hello,
Okay.
hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, if you
I
look
think this
at,
has to do with.
yeah, no, if you look at our chart, a good number of us encountered the issue, but we have
Yeah.
one of us did it repeatedly, and he suggests that he says, I tried again the lab. I think we must start 172.160.40 many times when trying the TCP dump. So I have also tried here several times, and now I get a good result with TCP.
Okay, you have to try separately.
Yes. So the trick is there, Doc. If we look at H, H says after the TCP dump starts, quickly navigate to 172.16.0.40 So when we issue the command that that sudo TCP dump, as soon as it starts, we should go into to Firefox. We shouldn't wait for it to complete capturing the 50 packets.
Yeah, but if you're doing this, you must make sure your internet is very active.
Actually, Doc, I thought of that. You see, we are working on a topology. Yeah, actually, we actually do not need even internet. It's just to enable that's communication between some,
The CyberOps, yeah.
Yes, we don't need internet to arrive at a good result.
No, you need it because you're also trying to establish. I'm coming. You're also trying to establish a connectivity to. Remember, you're asked to find the TCP section from that particular 172, right?
Yes.
172.16, but that's on intranet. That's still within.
Yeah, that's yes, and it's an intranet. As soon as we use HTTP, I mean, we have to establish a TCP session. It's not dependent on internet. Because
Okay.
if we launch from our machine, if we launch the browser at this point, we will access the internet. But this our task. We are within a given topology.
Yeah, we're given the topology. I think. Let's just repeat this process again and see. Wow. So when you did it severally, you were able to get the TCP dump.
I think I repeated it like 3-4 times now. And then when I open Wireshark and I do TCP filter, I see packets now with TCP that I can analyze.
Okay. Capture. Okay. So now I think it's counting, right? So you need to do the, please, can you see my screen, please? So what I actually skip here is this. So we asked that this is going to happen, and then this capture will stop after what? 50 packet, as it's configured with the open C50. So it's going to stop after that, and then when Axe immediately stops, we go straight to this, and then we type 172, right? Are we following, please? And then once that is happening, then we go straight to.
Or while they are, it's accounting.
Why is it counting? It's counting because we're told that it will take 50. That's the -50. That's why you have the -C50. So it's going to count up until it gets to 50.
My question is, we are putting the IP address in browsers, while the H1 is accounting or after it.
when I read the lab, I thought we have to do while it's accounting.
Okay,
I-
why is it counting?
while
Okay, yeah,
accounting.
Y shack. They say we should go to the Y shack.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Not
Hello?
Wireshark. Not Wireshark. I
Can you
meaning,
hear me?
yes, I can hearing you. When I putting the IP address,
Mm-hmm.
I understanding we have
Mm-hmm.
the right the right I don't know how can I say it the right doing. We have to put the IP in Firefox while the H1 is accounting, not after it's finished. It's
We
my
have to
question.
put what?
Is it clear or not?
No, I really want to understand what you mean.
Okay, let it go.
You said, why are we actually counting down?
Let it go. Okay, when I find the good way to ask you, I will send it to you
No, but
in WhatsApp group.
if this is the Wireshark, you're using the Wireshark to actually capture the packet. One, if you see you've initiated the 172.16.0.40, which is the TCP section. And so the Wireshark will help you to actually display this section, which of course is the reason why you're carrying out this. So you do Wireshark, if I'm correct. And that's exactly what you do. So you do this to capture
Hello, Doc.
the section. Yeah.
Okay. When we issue the command in H1 to generate the 50 packets, while we shouldn't wait for that command to be processed till the end. As soon as it starts counting 1, 2, 3, we see
you quickly go there and type the 170. Yeah.
Exactly. That is it.
You quickly go, or else you miss it.
That is it.
That is the trick.
Yes.
And so I really want to get her question correctly. Are you asking why we have to do this, Hadel?
Actually, that is what she is trying to explain to you.
Okay. Why are we doing that?
That while the packets are being counted, we shouldn't wait for it to go to the 50th. We should.
Okay. Why are we waiting? Okay, I get you. And that's why I was just trying to explain in the process. And then time was not
WHILE, while.
Okay. So Hadel, thank you for that. Actually, you're not supposed to delay the much I did. It will not help you to capture that packet. And so if you really want to get it, like he said, you need to quickly. Hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, I am hearing you.
Yeah, so that's a very valid contribution. It's actually mentioned here that you quickly go and initiate this, and then you go to the Wireshark. So while it is counting, you want to capture that TCP dump, and if you must capture it, you must capture that pickup while the process is done.
Yes,
So
I
you
do
do
it.
that.
But yes, I do it.
Exactly,
But when I
Now,
filtering,
when you do that, did you get it?
Moi, j'ai réussi à faire par là. Vous êtes en ligne? Ah, j'ai réussi à faire par là. Mais le fait que je
Hello,
parle pas
when you did that, did you get it?
Moi, j'ai
Like,
réussi,
for
mais là, ils
instance,
sont bloqués.
excuse me, Dr. Daniel, with
hello,
who you
who is
talking?
disturbing my class here?
Allô?
Just like it's counting now, and then you quickly, hello. So if I go here and I put it, and I capture this, and then I can go back quickly while this is counting, and then I can do, remember this must count down for you to be able to do the Wireshark, except probably you did your step differently. So that will now pop up. So were you able to get it to this stage? And then you go to your file, and then you open, of course, you see this, and then you open this. Okay, so how many of us got it correctly? Now, I'm only just walking through this for us to see that this is what we need to do. And then you apply it. And I think this is where most of us are having the issues. Am I correct?
Yes, Doc, that's the catch.
So is anybody again who have any concern here?
Sorry if I can speak here.
Yeah, please go
I
ahead.
think that there is a very simple solution that I used when I did this lab.
Yeah, go
You
ahead.
can write all the command TCP dump, but you don't write minus C50. It means that it will do the TCP dump until we go to the browser, we did all what we want, and then we come back to the command line and we use Ctrl C to cancel the command. It will be more easier.
To cancel the command?
Yes, we don't use minus C50. That means that TCP dump will be already always running until we go to the browser and we browse to the website, and when we finish this, we come back to the command line and we do Ctrl C to cancel the command TCP dump. It will be the easier method to do, even if we are not quickly.
Yeah, if you don't do it quickly, you lose it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you canceled it. You have to cancel yours to come back to it. Okay, so maybe we could try those options of canceling and then redoing it. But I think what Akubo said also, it's good. You have to do this over and over, and then see that you're able to capture that. Is that clear? And then the part two, for those of us, you said?
Can I ask you?
Yeah, Hadil, go ahead, please.
When I using the command Wireshark, doesn't work in this spelling. I have to write sudo Wireshark minus I think JKT, I think, or JTK. I'm not sure. That will work my Wireshark. Is that good or not?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I think some
There is
folks
no
have
problem.
issues. Yeah, there's no problem.
That's what I also use on my pad and some other classmates use.
Yeah, you didn't use the Wireshark
To get Wireshark running.
Yes, I think I mean this command not work. Told me this command not found in this terminal. When I just write Wireshark and the and symbol.
Okay. It doesn't work for you, but I think this has to do with some scripting issue. But I think
But
since you use the
I use instead of this this command, I used sudo Wireshark minus JKT. Just this, and press enter, and Wireshark it's work. This doesn't
lovely. It's a good alternative as long as that works.
Doesn't affect it on the results.
No, it doesn't affect the result. I don't think so.
Okay, when I do this this steps this step, I have a problem when I filtering the TCP in Wireshark. I just have 2 line, but in the lab there are many lines with TCP. So I have different results in with the when I comparing my picture and the picture in the lab, it's different. And I
Okay, do you
answered
have,
some
are you
questions.
using your, are you using your system now?
Yes. Just
Can you
wait
share
a
it?
minute.
Let's see. Yeah,
Just
let me
wait a
stop.
minute.
Let me stop and see. It's actually a quite interesting lab if you follow it stepwise and be able to capture the TCP. But like we said, this is just for you to be able to monitor your TCP. And once you can be able to analyze that packet and then be able to view the packet using TCP dump. And this is exactly what this lab expected you to do. But I think there's another lab again that somebody complained about. I don't know if I'm correct, which is 9.3. So while we're waiting for her to share her screen, Hadel, you can go ahead and share. Let's see.
I have a problem with sharing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'd love to see the challenges you're complaining about. Okay. So is there any question that we need to also look at? So I think beyond that, every other command works. Does it work for us?
Can you waiting me some minutes? A few minutes?
Okay. Okay, I am. So while we're waiting for you, is there another person who is still having issues with this command?
Yes, I just sometimes I have a picture. I put my picture in the solution of this lab. So I answered in what I see in my lab, in my Wireshark. But it's
Yes,
different.
I think it would be best
Sometimes it's
to.
different. So
I think if you follow it, except you're using a different version, as long as you're using the same version, you should get the same result.
what's you say? Sorry.
I guess I hope you're not using a different version of the CyberOps or the. Are we all using the same thing?
Yeah, you meaning I downloaded another one? You mean or not?
I'm
I don't.
asking the version of the CyberWorks, your workstation.
Yes, in CyberOps workstation, I will use it.
Yeah, I know we have different versions.
Different version. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the right version?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think
when you send it the PDF or and
okay, that is what
in this
that's the
PDF
one.
we have a URL to download the what we needed in this in this class. I downloaded from there
Oh,
from
lovely,
this
lovely,
URL.
lovely,
I maybe I
lovely.
don't maybe I do another thing. I don't know. I'm not sure. So what's
Okay,
the
that's fine.
version I have to download it, Doctor?
No, that's fine. So I just want to know why you're having a different, but it'll be fine. You
Sometimes, not
report
all
it.
the time. Sometimes, not
Okay.
all the time.
Okay. Okay. But whatever you get, please send me whatever you see. And so if
Yes,
there are issues with it.
I am have a picture to what I have, but what's my results, and write it on it. This is my result, and I will send it to you when I finished all the labs.
Okay,
Okay.
that'll be fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So, do we have any issue with that? I think tomorrow we look at 9.3. And so for this, we've agreed that one of the ways you can do this is you just have to do it repeatedly. And so you can be able to capture the pickup. So for you to capture the TCP dump, you have to do this repeatedly. So please, once you get to that lab, you just have to do that repeatedly and make sure while it's counting down, you're able to go straight to the browser and type the 172. And from the IP address, we can see it's a private IP address. So it's actually within. Okay. So there are no questions. Any other questions? Do you have any concern?
A question, please. I already did all the labs until model 10, and I sent you on Sunday all these labs. So
oh,
in
you've
this
done all
week,
the labs?
all the labs I sent you until the model 6, until the model, from the model 6 until the model 10. I sent you this Sunday, the last Sunday. I sent you these labs.
Your
so
name,
my question.
Name.
I am Ezer.
Okay, go ahead, please.
I sent you and you respond me. You reply me by email. So
okay,
my question in this week, what we have to do as labs, in addition of these, the model 9 that we are doing now.
Yeah, this week is expected that we do up to 15.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's expected. So by tomorrow, I think I should get to model 15. So for the lab, you have to work on the lab until you get to 15. If you look at the labs you're meant to do, let me share with us. Let me share the labs I have. Just to be sure that everybody's on the same page. So, I should get to 9 to check the manual. There is 15. So from 9, you have 10, 14, and 15.
12 also. There is some labs using packet tracer. I did this this morning. I do them.
Okay, the one for the packet tracer.
Yes.
Okay.
The model 12.
I think
there are two short labs.
Yeah. In the packet tracer.
Yes.
So meaning that you have to download the packet tracer to be able to use those labs. And I hope we all have the packet tracer.
Packet tracer exists in the resources in the Cisco Academy. I think everyone can download it.
Yeah, packet tracer. Yeah. And so, any other question with that? So, if you check, I think it means that you don't have labs for after this 9.3.8, 10.2.7. I think after that, the next one you have is after the 10.2.7, 10.4.3. You don't have 11, you don't have 12, but I think there are some packet tracer labs in the curriculum. Am I correct?
Yes.
Hello.
There is 2 labs
by packet tracer.
Good, but not in the student manual.
Yes. There isn't in the student. These are in the course.
Please, you have to do that lab and send to me, please. I can't find it's not in the.
They aren't in the Word documents. They are in the course in the model 12. In the end of the model 12, there are 2 labs with the with the packet tracer.
Make sure you add to.
Courses.
Yeah, very important. make sure you add that to the labs you're going to do. Is that clear, everyone?
It's clear.
I hope you can hear us. There are packet tracer labs you need to do. Please, everybody should try and do those packet tracer labs. You can actually see that here, but then it's part of the content. If you're going through the material, you come across it. Okay, so we're meeting tomorrow. We're also going to review that of 9.2.3, which has to do a lot with map. And so walk through this. So please keep working on the labs and keep reporting what you have. And if you have any issues, you let me know. So see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.